The mining planet of Krylos 7 was silent under its dim orange sun. Giant machines carved the rocky surface while alien guards patrolled in sleek black armor. Deep in the core of a heavily guarded compound, a young human girl sat chained to a metal chair. Her name was Maya, and she had been captured by the Zirans, a ruthless alien faction. They wanted information about Earth's technology, but Maya knew nothing of military secrets, yet they were determined to break her. The room was cold, and the walls hummed with alien energy. The Zirans' leader, a towering creature named Karnak, stepped forward. His skin shimmered in shades of dark blue, and his eyes burned like molten gold. He leaned close to Maya, his voice low and threatening. "You will tell us what your leaders are hiding, human," Karnak hissed, "or you will suffer." Maya's heart raced, but she lifted her chin, refusing to show fear. I don't know anything," she said quietly. Karnak's clawed hands tightened into fists. He signaled to two Ziran guards who adjusted a strange device that hummed and crackled with energy. Maya's breath caught. Pain shot through her body as the device activated, but she gritted her teeth and stayed silent. She refused to give them what they wanted. The Zirans were used to breaking beings quickly, but Maya resisted. Each time they tried to extract information, she endured, showing strength even the aliens could not understand. Karnak's frustration grew with each passing hour. Meanwhile, far away on Earth, in a top-secret command center, alarms were flashing. Giant screens displayed live satellite images of Krylos 7. A red dot blinked over the compound where Maya was held. Specialists watched the images in silence. Dr. Elena Ward, the head of Project Vanguard, leaned forward. Her fingers tapped the table nervously. "That's a human," she whispered. "They're torturing her. We need to act." A general in a sharp uniform, General Harris, stood behind her. His face was stern, but his eyes betrayed worry. "This is what we've trained for," he said. "Initiate Vanguard. Prepare the super soldiers. Earth cannot afford to lose one of its own." Deep underground, hidden from the public eye, Project Vanguard had trained for decades. They were humans, but not ordinary ones. Every member of the program had been enhanced, physically, mentally, and strategically. They were trained to survive in extreme conditions, fight advanced enemies, and rescue anyone in danger. In a secure chamber, 5 super soldiers assembled. Captain Rylan, the leader, inspected his team. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and calm under pressure. "Team," he said, "we have a mission. A human girl is in danger on Krylos 7. Zirans have her. We go in, we rescue her, and we get out." Zara, the fastest among them, cracked her knuckles. "Let's go teach them what humans can do," she said with a small grin. Tarek, the tech expert, adjusted his goggles. "I've already mapped their systems. They won't know we're coming until it's too late." Rylan nodded. "Good. Remember, stealth first, speed second, and always, never underestimate them." The soldiers entered their stealth ships, designed to slip past alien radars and patrols. The engines hummed quietly as the ships left Earth's orbit and traveled into deep space. Each soldier checked their gear, advanced weapons, shields, and gadgets that no ordinary human could use. They were humanity's best chance to save Maya. Back on Krylos 7, Maya had been awake for hours. Her body ached from the alien device, but her mind stayed sharp. She studied the Zirans' patterns, memorizing every guard rotation, every sound the machinery made. She was determined to survive, even if no one was coming for her. Karnak paced the room. "Why won't you talk?" he demanded. His voice was a mixture of anger and confusion. "All humans break eventually." Maya shook her head. "Not all of us," she said. Karnak's face twisted. He left the room, returning moments later with a small, floating drone. It hovered above her, scanning every movement. The drone projected holographic lights across her body, probing her strength and weaknesses. Maya flinched at first, but then stood tall, refusing to show fear. Hours passed. Karnak's patience wore thin, and he called in reinforcements. Tall, armored Ziran soldiers, armed with weapons that could tear through steel. Yet even in their presence, Maya remained calm. She whispered a promise to herself. I will survive. Earth will come. Meanwhile, in the stealth ships, Captain Ryland's team approached Krylo 7. The planet's orange sky stretched across the horizon, hiding the facility in shadows. Tariq scanned the security grid. Multiple patrols, automated defenses, laser turrets. We'll have to take the underground tunnel to reach the inner chambers, he explained. Then we move quietly, Ryland said. No alarms, no mistakes. A human life depends on it. The team activated cloaking devices and descended toward the planet's surface. Each step was precise, each move calculated. Despite the alien guard's strength, they relied on human ingenuity to navigate the dangerous terrain. Inside the facility, Maya noticed a small vent near the wall. She tugged at it gently, trying to see if it could provide an escape. The thought of leaving was tempting, but she knew she couldn't survive alone outside the compound. She needed help, and somehow she felt that help was coming. Outside, the super soldiers moved closer. They avoided detection by crawling through shadows, climbing walls, and using devices that disabled Ziran cameras. Every step was tense. One wrong move and the mission could fail. Back in the chamber, Karnak's voice echoed. Check her. Increase the device power. If she doesn't talk, she will regret it. Maya gritted her teeth. Pain shot through her. Again, but she refused to scream. Her mind raced for ways to survive. She remembered her training from Earth. Focus, patience, observation. She was not just a victim. She was a fighter. Outside, Ryland signaled to his team. Prepare to breach, he whispered. This is the moment we save her. Zara activated her grappling hooks and silently moved to the upper levels, disabling laser sensors. Tariq hacked the door systems to allow entry. Ryland and the others readied their weapons, but their eyes showed one emotion: determination. For Maya, time seemed endless. Every second was pain. Every second was fear. But in the distance, she heard a faint sound, almost like a whisper carried by the air. She focused, listening closely. A vibration? A presence? Her heart leapt. Suddenly, the vent above her shook slightly. A small holographic projection appeared inside the room. Tariq's face appeared briefly, signaling the team's position. Maya's hope surged. She was not alone. Earth had not forgotten her. Karnak noticed immediately. They are coming, he growled. Prepare for the breach. Maya felt a strange mixture of fear and relief. The Zirans were dangerous, but she was about to meet humans who were stronger, faster, and smarter than any alien she had seen. The tension outside built as Ryland's team positioned themselves for the final approach. The stealth devices hummed softly, the lights dimmed, and the air grew thick with anticipation. One more step, one more move, and the mission would begin. Inside, Maya took a deep breath. Her chains rattled as the vent shifted. For the first time, in hours, she allowed herself a small smile. Humans never gave up. She never gave up. And now, help was here. The first part of the story ends with the super soldiers ready to breach the Ziran compound. Maya full of hope, and the aliens unaware of the storm about to descend on them. The orange sky of Krylo 7 stretched endlessly above the rocky landscape. Below, the Ziran mining facility glimmered with harsh artificial lights. The planet's surface was uneven and jagged, but the stealth ships of Project Vanguard moved silently, gliding over the terrain like shadows. Inside, the super soldiers prepared themselves mentally and physically for the dangerous mission ahead. Captain Ryland checked each member of the team. Listen, he said quietly. The enemy knows humans are weak. They think fear will stop us, but humans never quit. Today we prove it. Zara, crouched at the front, nodded. I've mapped the guards' patrol patterns. Their sensors reset every 7 seconds. If we time it right, we'll pass without triggering any alarms. Tariq's fingers danced over his portable device, sending silent signals into the facility's systems. I've hacked a small section of their network. We can access doors, cameras, and even disable some turrets temporarily, but only for a short window. Once we start, there's no turning back. A soft hum of energy passed through the cabin as the stealth ships hovered over the rocky cliffs near the facility. They were hidden from alien detection, invisible against the backdrop of the planet's dim sun. Team, Rylan continued, remember, our mission is to rescue Maya. Avoid unnecessary combat. Use intelligence and skill. Humans are smarter, faster, and more adaptable. Let's prove it. The soldiers moved into position, climbing down ropes to the rocky ground below. Each step was calculated, measured. The Xerans' patrols roamed nearby, their boots clanking against metal floors. Every moment was tense. Maya, deep inside her chamber, felt a strange presence. She could not see them yet, but her instincts told her that help was coming. For hours she had endured pain, hunger, and fear, yet her mind remained sharp, alert. She had learned the alien patterns, every blink of the lights, every shift of the guards. Her hope surged. Earth had not abandoned her. Outside, Zara led the way, sliding between shadows and climbing over barriers. She reached a high wall overlooking the facility's interior. Below, she could see the vast machinery, the glowing corridors, and the patrolling Xerans. She signaled to the others, who moved silently to join her. Tariq accessed the security grid through a portable device. I've disabled the perimeter cameras for 30 seconds, he whispered. Move fast. The soldiers dropped quietly into the compound. Their boots made no sound on the metal floor. They navigated the corridors with precision, using every skill they had learned in their years of training. Rylan stopped near a junction. Split into 2 teams, he said. Zara and I take the left corridor. Tariq, Hana, and Leo, you go right. We'll meet at the central chamber. Keep comms open but low. Silence is our advantage. Hana, the team's medical expert, adjusted her pack. Ready? She said calmly. Her eyes scanned the environment. She had seen danger before, but never like this. Aliens torturing humans for secrets. Leo, the heavy weapons specialist, tightened his gloves. Let's get her out, he said simply. As the 2 teams moved, the tension in the facility grew. The Xeran guards were thorough, but they were not prepared for humans who moved like shadows. Every obstacle was overcome with strategy, not brute force. Meanwhile, Maya noticed something unusual. A tiny flicker of light, almost like a pulse, moved along the wall near the ceiling. She squinted, realizing it was a drone, not a Xeran one, but human. Her heart leapt. She wasn't alone. She whispered to herself, They're here. I knew they'd come. Rylan and Zara reached the first security checkpoint. A laser turret rotated slowly, scanning the hallway. Rylan studied it, noting its rhythm. Wait for the 3rd sweep, he whispered. The turret passed. Zara leaped over it, landing silently. Rylan followed. Tariq's team faced a locked door, reinforced with alien alloys. No problem, Tariq said, connecting his device to the panel. Sparks flew as the lock disengaged. Leo peeked around the corner, ready for any surprise. Hana moved with grace, keeping an eye out for traps. Inside, the corridors twisted like a maze. Some paths were trapped, others patrolled. Yet the super soldiers advanced, their human ingenuity guiding them. Every decision, every step, relied on observation and intelligence rather than brute strength. Maya's chains rattled as the room's door suddenly shifted slightly. A shadow fell across the floor. Her pulse quickened. She could see a faint figure moving silently. Rylan, the captain. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. This is it. I will survive. The 2 teams converged near the central chamber. Outside, the door. A guard shifted, unaware of the danger behind him. Zara signaled to Rylan. Timing, she whispered. We can take him without alerting others. In a swift motion, Rylan moved. Using a combination of martial skill and speed, he incapacitated the guard. Zara followed, neutralizing another patrol robot nearby. The corridor remained quiet. The element of surprise was theirs. Inside the chamber, Maya's hope grew stronger. She watched the shadows, unsure who would appear first. Then she heard a soft whisper. "Maya, we're here," said a calm human voice. Her heart soared. The door creaked as Rylan opened it just enough for Maya to see him. "Stay calm," he said. "We're getting you out. Follow our lead." The Zirans, caught off guard, began to respond, but the soldiers acted quickly. Using non-lethal force and advanced gadgets, they disabled guards and devices with precision. Human intelligence and adaptability shone against the aliens' brute force and technology. Maya stepped forward, shaking slightly but holding her head high. She was free of her chains, guided by Hana, who whispered reassurances. Her pain was still there, but it was replaced by hope. Outside, the battle in the corridors continued. Leo used a portable EMP device to disable alien weapons. Tariq hacked additional doors, clearing the path to the escape point. Every step demonstrated human creativity, strategy, and courage. The super soldiers moved as one, a well-coordinated team that had trained for decades. They were humans, but in that moment they were something more. Symbols of Earth's determination and ingenuity. Maya followed Rylan closely. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice trembling. Rylan nodded. "We're not done yet. Stay focused. Keep moving." The team reached the facility's lower tunnels, a labyrinth of alien machinery and piping. The path to the surface was long, but the soldiers navigated it with precision. Every turn was calculated, every obstacle analyzed. Maya marveled at their skill. These humans were faster, smarter, and braver than she had ever imagined. She realized that Earth had prepared for this, secretly, silently, but with incredible strength. As they climbed toward the surface, the facility began to sense the intrusion. Alarms flashed and Ziran forces began to mobilize. The escape became a race against time. Rylan signaled to the team, "Keep moving. Don't let them surround us. We rely on speed, intelligence, and each other." Zara leaped over a gap in the floor, grabbing a pipe and swinging across. Maya followed cautiously, guided by Hana. Leo used his strength to lift a fallen beam, clearing their path. Tariq hacked another control panel to disable a pursuing patrol. Finally, the exit appeared. Sunlight, or rather the orange glow of Krylo 7's sun, streamed in. Freedom was close, but danger was still present. Ziran patrols were near, their weapons ready. Rylan looked at his team. "One last push," he said. "Humans never give up. Let's go home." With that, they sprinted toward their stealth ships, moving with speed and precision. Maya's legs felt weak, but determination carried her forward. She had survived torture, endured fear, and now was part of something larger. Humans fighting with courage, intelligence, and heart. The escape was tense. Turrets fired, but the soldiers anticipated every move. They disabled systems, dodged attacks, and moved as a single unit. Maya realized that human strength was not just physical. It was in their minds, their hearts, and their ability to work together. Finally, they reached the ships. The ramp lowered, and the soldiers guided Maya inside. The engines hummed as the stealth ship lifted off the ground, slipping past alien detection once again. Inside, Maya sank to the floor, exhausted but relieved. Hana placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now," she said. "We'll take care of you." Rylan stood by the cockpit, looking down at the fading facility below. "Mission Part 1 complete," he said. "But this is only the beginning. The Zirans won't stop. We have to be ready." Maya looked around at the soldiers, strong, smart, and determined. She realized that Earth had prepared for everything. Humans were not weak, as the Zirans believed. They were clever, brave, and unstoppable when united. As the stealth ship rose into the sky, leaving Krylos 7 behind, Maya allowed herself to breathe. The nightmare was over, for now, but the fight for Earth and her survival had only just begun. The stealth ship rose higher into the dusty sky of Krylos 7, its dark hull blending with the color of the horizon. Inside, Maya sat quietly, wrapped in a thin blanket. Her body was weak, but her eyes were bright with determination. For the first time since her capture, she felt safe. Yet deep inside, she knew the danger was not over. Captain Ryland stood at the cockpit, his eyes fixed on the glowing screens. The Zirin compound below was still active, and alarms had begun to sound. "They know we were here," he said firmly. "This was too easy. They will not let us escape without a fight." Zara leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "You're right. Zirins are proud. They'll chase us. They'll want revenge for what we just did." Tariq tapped at his device. "I intercepted some of their transmissions. They're already calling reinforcements. A fleet is on its way." Maya's heart sank. "So, we're not safe?" she asked softly. Hana, the medic, sat beside her and gave a comforting smile. "We're safe for now. You're alive, and that's what matters. But yes, the Zirins won't give up so easily." Ryland turned, his face calm but serious. "Maya, they wanted you because they thought you had secrets about Earth. You resisted. That makes you dangerous in their eyes. They won't stop hunting. You." Maya's fists clenched. "Then I won't stop fighting either," she whispered. The team exchanged quick glances. They saw in her eyes the same fire that burned within them, a refusal to break. Humans, no matter how weak they seemed, carried a strength the Zirins could never understand. The ship soon reached the upper atmosphere, but Tariq frowned as he read the sensors. "Problem," he said. "Zirin defense grid is active. We can't leave orbit without being detected. And if we're detected, the fleet will catch us before we reach the jump point." Rylan exhaled slowly. "Then we don't run. We go back in. We finish this from the inside." The team froze for a moment. Go back? Into the enemy's facility? It was madness. Yet Ryland's calm confidence gave weight to his words. Zara stepped forward. "You mean sabotage?" "Exactly," Ryland replied. "We destroy the grid from the inside. Once it's down, we escape clean. If we run now, we die. If we fight smart, we live." Leo, the heavy weapons specialist, gave a rare smile. "Now that sounds like a plan I can get behind." Maya's eyes widened. "You're going back after everything?" Ryland nodded. "We don't leave jobs half done. That's what makes us human. We adapt. We finish what we start." The ship looped back, descending once more toward the rocky cliffs near the facility. The soldiers prepared their gear again. Shields, weapons, hacking tools. Maya watched them move with perfect discipline. Even after hours of fighting and danger, their spirits were strong. Hana crouched beside her. "Stay on the ship this time. It's too dangerous inside. We'll come back for you once the grid is destroyed." But Maya shook her head. "No, I've been inside. I know their patterns, their halls, their machines. Let me help. Please." The team hesitated. She was young, fragile compared to them, but she had endured Zirin cruelty and had not broken. That meant something. Ryland finally spoke. "All right. But you stay close. You listen to orders. Understood?" Maya nodded quickly. "Understood." The ship landed quietly in a canyon, hidden from view. The team slipped out, blending into the shadows. The facility loomed ahead, massive towers rising into the sky, energy lines glowing like veins across its surface. "Infiltration point is the maintenance tunnels," Tariq whispered. "Less guarded, but full of traps. Follow me." They crawled, through narrow passages, avoiding cameras and energy fields. Tariq hacked control panels. Zara disabled traps with quick precision, and Ryland guided them with steady leadership. Maya followed closely, amazed at their focus. The deeper they went, the louder the hum of alien machinery became. The facility was alive, buzzing with power. Maya recognized the hallways. She had walked them as a prisoner. Memories of pain and fear returned, but she pushed them away. This time she was not alone. Suddenly, a patrol appeared at the end of the corridor. 3 Xiran soldiers marched, their glowing weapons ready. The team pressed against the walls, silent. The Xiran's golden eyes scanned the area. Rylan raised a hand, signaling patience. The soldiers passed without noticing them. Only then did the team continue. Close one, Leo muttered quietly. They finally reached a massive chamber, the heart of the defense grid. Towering machines pulsed with energy, feeding power into the sky. The grid above glowed like a net of lightning, trapping any ship that tried to leave. "This is it," Tariq whispered. "We destroy this. We escape." But as they stepped closer, alarms blared. Red lights flashed and metallic doors slammed shut. Xiran guards poured in from all sides. "Ambush!" Zara shouted. The team drew their weapons. Energy blasts lit. The chamber as the battle began. Humans against aliens, outnumbered but not outsmarted. Rylan moved with sharp precision, firing bursts that disabled Xiran weapons. Zara spun and leaped, her reflexes unmatched as she struck down guards with quick strikes. Leo unleashed heavy fire, holding back waves of enemies. Hana dragged Maya to cover, shielding her from blasts while treating the wounded. Tariq worked frantically at the control panel. Sparks flew as he hacked into the system. "I need more time," he shouted. "Buy him time," Rylan ordered. Team fought fiercely, their human creativity giving them the edge. They used the environment, pipes, machinery, and shadows, to confuse the enemy. Where the Xirans relied on brute force, the humans relied on intelligence. Maya crouched low, heart pounding. She wanted to help. She remembered the patterns of the machines, the symbols the Xirans used. Her eyes locked on a console nearby. She recognized it. It controlled the energy flow. "Hana," Maya whispered. "I can help. That panel, I've seen them use it. If we cut the second line, the system overloads." Hana hesitated, then nodded. "Go, I'll cover you." Maya crawled toward the panel, her hands shaking but determined. She pressed the sequence she had memorized, cutting the second line. The abyss, machines roared, sparks flying. The grid above flickered. "It's working," Tariq shouted. "Keep going." The Xirans roared in anger, pushing harder. But the humans pushed back with everything they had. Zara darted between blasts. Rylan fought with steady precision, and Leo's heavy fire shook the ground. Maya pressed the final command. The machines overloaded, exploding with bright light. The defense grid above shattered, its lightning web dissolving into the sky. The chamber shook violently. "It's collapsing," Rylan shouted. "Fall back." The team pulled together, retreating through the tunnels as explosions rippled through the facility. The Xirans chased, but the humans were faster, smarter. They knew when to fight and when to run. At last they burst out into the open air. The stealth ship awaited, engines ready. They sprinted across the rocky ground, dodging falling debris and enemy fire. Maya's legs burned, but she kept going. They climbed aboard, and the ramp closed behind them. The ship lifted off just as the facility collapsed in a storm of fire and rubble. The once impenetrable defense grid was gone. Inside, the team caught their breath. Tariq grinned. "Grid destroyed. Path is clear." Rylan nodded. "Good work. Everyone did their part." Maya sat back, exhausted but proud. For the first time, she had not only survived, she had fought back. She had helped. Zara looked at her with a smile. "Not bad for someone who just got rescued." Maya smiled faintly. "Humans don't give up, right?" The soldiers chuckled softly. Even in the face of destruction, hope remained. As the ship prepared to jump to hyperspace, Rylan gazed at the stars. "This is only the beginning," he said quietly. "The Xirans won't forgive this. But let them come. They'll learn what it means to fight humans." The others nodded. They were tired, but their spirits burned bright. Together they had survived. Together they would face whatever came next. The stealth ship cut through the blackness of space, its engines glowing softly. Inside, the team of super soldiers rested in silence. The mission to destroy the Xiran defense grid had succeeded, but no one celebrated. Everyone knew the Xirans would not forgive such an attack. Captain Ryland stood by the window, his eyes scanning the stars. He was calm on the outside, but inside his mind was busy, calculating the next move. "The grid is gone," he said. "But they'll send more. They won't stop until they punish us." Zara leaned back against her seat, wiping sweat from her forehead. "We just destroyed their main stronghold. Of course they'll come. They'll come with everything they've got." Tariq tapped at his console, reading incoming transmissions. "They already know," he said quietly. "The Xiran High Command has declared Earth a direct enemy. They're calling in fleets from nearby systems. We don't have much time." Maya sat quietly at the side, wrapped in her blanket. Her body was weak, but her eyes shone with courage. She had been through pain and fear, but she no longer felt like a victim. She felt part of something greater. "Then what do we do now?" Maya asked softly. Ryland turned to her. "We protect Earth, and we protect you. The Xirans tortured you because they thought you had secrets. You didn't break. That means they'll see you as a threat. They'll want you back, no matter what." Maya's fists clenched. "Then I'll keep fighting. I don't care if they come again, I won't let them win." The team exchanged glances. They all felt the same fire inside. Humans did not give up. The ship reached the edge of the system, preparing for a hyperspace jump. But before they could activate it, alarms rang. Bright red lights flashed across the cockpit. "Multiple ships incoming," Tariq shouted. "Xiran, fleet, 3 destroyers, 2 carriers, and fighters." The screen lit up with glowing dots. The Xirans were fast. They had surrounded the area like predators closing in on prey. "Battle stations," Rylan ordered. The soldiers strapped in, weapons ready. The stealth ship had limited firepower. It was built for speed and secrecy, not open combat. Against a fleet they had little chance. But humans never surrendered without a fight. The first wave of Xiran fighters swarmed toward them, firing streams of bright energy. The ship shook violently as explosions erupted around it. Zara grabbed the controls and took the pilot's seat. "Hold on," she shouted, steering the ship through the barrage. She spun the craft in sharp rolls, dodging blasts that could tear through steel. The Xirans were skilled, but Zara was faster. Her reflexes, sharpened by years of training and enhancements, allowed her to outmaneuver ships twice as powerful. Leo loaded the ship's cannons. "Targets locked," he said, pulling the trigger. Streams of fire shot out, striking enemy fighters and sending them spiraling into flames. "2 down," Leo muttered. "Plenty more to go." The ship wove through the battlefield, dodging debris and enemy fire. But the Xirans pressed harder, closing the gap. Tariq worked furiously on his console. "I can hack their targeting systems," he said. "Give me a few seconds." "You've got 3, Rylan replied sharply. Tariq's fingers flew. He sent false signals into the Xiran's network, tricking their systems. Suddenly, several enemy fighters lost lock on the human ship and collided with each other in confusion. Explosions lit up the dark sky. "Nice work," Zara grinned, spinning the ship through the chaos. But the real danger was still ahead. The Xiran carriers opened their bays, releasing wave after wave of drones, small, fast, and deadly. They swarmed like a storm of hornets surrounding the stealth ship. "We can't fight them all," Hannah said, holding tightly to her seat. Ryland's mind raced. "Then we don't. We break through." He pointed to a narrow gap between the destroyers. It was risky, but it was the only path. "Zara, take us through there." Zara smirked. "Tight spaces are my specialty." The ship dove straight into the gap, weaving between massive Xiran warships. Enemy fire blasted all around them, but the soldiers trusted Zara's skill. The stealth ship twisted and spun, slipping between beams of energy by inches. Maya gripped her seat, her heart pounding. She had never seen humans fight like this. Each soldier was calm under fire, working as one. Their unity was their greatest weapon. The ship blasted out of the gap, leaving the Zirans scrambling. But just as relief began to fill the cabin, a massive shadow loomed ahead. The Ziran flagship. It was enormous, glowing with energy, its cannons larger than the human ship itself. A deep voice echoed over the comms, filled with hate. Humans, you will pay for what you have done. Maya froze. She knew that voice. Karnak, the Ziran leader who had tortured her. Her hands shook, but her voice was steady. That's him, the one who tried to break me. Ryland's jaw tightened. Then we finish this. The flagship fired. A massive beam of energy cut across space, striking the human ship. The hull groaned, alarms screamed, and sparks flew. Hana rushed to seal breaches while Leo manned the cannons, firing back with everything they had. But their weapons were too small. Against a ship of that size, they could do little more than scratch the surface. Tariq's mind raced. I can hack their flagship, he said. But I need to get close, too close. Ryland nodded. Do it. Everyone else, cover him. Zara dove toward the flagship, dodging fire as best she could. The closer they got, the more dangerous it became. Enemy cannons lit up the sky. Still, they pressed forward. Tariq plugged his device into the console, sweat dripping from his forehead. Almost there. Karnak's voice roared again, shaking the ship. You cannot win, humans. You are weak. You are nothing. Maya stood, her fear replaced by anger. You're wrong, she said softly. We are stronger than you'll ever understand. At that moment, Tariq's screen lit up. Got it, he shouted. I've taken control of their drone fleet. Swarm of drones around them suddenly shifted, turning on the flagship. They attacked their own masters, blasting holes into the giant vessel's hull. Beautiful, Leo grinned, firing more rounds into the chaos. The flagship shook violently under the assault. Flames burst from its sides as systems failed. Karnak's voice screamed with rage. No, this is impossible. Humans cannot. His words were cut off by a massive explosion. The flagship erupted in fire, breaking apart in the darkness of space. The Ziran fleet scattered in confusion, retreating from the battlefield. The silence that followed was deafening. The humans had won. Inside the ship, the soldiers let out sighs of relief. Hana patched wounds. Leo reloaded. Zara slumped back in her seat, exhausted but grinning. Ryland looked at Maya. You see? Humans don't bow. Not to anyone. Maya's eyes filled with tears, but they were not tears of fear. They were tears of pride. You're right, she whispered. We don't. The ship turned toward Earth, its engines glowing brighter. They had survived. They had fought against impossible odds and proved that humans could stand against even the strongest enemy. But deep inside, they all knew this was only the beginning. The Zirans would not forgive. They would come again, stronger, angrier, and when they did, Earth would be ready. The stealth ship drifted quietly through the vast emptiness of space. The battle with the Ziran fleet was over, and their flagship was nothing more than glowing debris scattered among the stars. Inside the ship, the crew finally allowed themselves to breathe. The silence felt heavy, not because of fear, but because of the weight of what they had just accomplished. They had faced a fleet, fought against impossible odds, and survived. More than that, they had won. Captain Ryland sat in his command chair, his eyes scanning the stars outside. His face was calm, but his mind was still sharp, calculating. Set. Course for Earth, he said quietly. Zara, sitting at the pilot's seat, nodded. Her hands moved gracefully across the controls. Course locked. Engines ready. The ship hummed as it prepared for a hyperspace jump. Maya sat near the back of the cabin, her blanket wrapped around her shoulders. She stared at the floor for a long moment before lifting her gaze to the others. You all saved me, she whispered. You didn't even know me, but you risked everything. Leo gave her a small smile. We don't leave our people behind. That's the rule. Hana, busy wrapping a bandage around her arm, added, It's more than a rule. It's who we are. Humans stand together. Maya's eyes filled with tears, but this time they were tears of pride, not fear. For so long she had felt like a prisoner, weak and powerless. But now she understood the truth. She had endured because she was human, and humanity had come for her. The ship jumped into hyperspace, streaking past stars and light. For a brief moment, the silence of the cabin was broken only by the steady hum of the engines. The return to Earth. When the ship finally slowed, Earth appeared on the screen. Blue oceans, green lands, and white clouds. It looked fragile compared to the endless blackness of space. Yet it was the home worth fighting for. Everyone on board stared at it with quiet reverence. For Maya, it was the first time she had seen her planet in what felt like forever. Her heart swelled with emotion. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Rylan nodded. "Yes, and it's our responsibility to protect it." The stealth ship entered Earth's orbit, immediately picked up by defense satellites. For a tense moment, dozens of warning signals lit up. But once the system identified the ship's code, the alarms ceased. Earth's command center had been waiting for their return. "Docking approved," Zara reported. The ship descended, cutting through the atmosphere in silence. Below, the soldiers saw sprawling cities and shining towers. Earth had grown stronger in the years of preparation. Humans had built hidden defenses, fleets, and weapons, not because they wanted war, but because they knew it was coming. The ship landed in a secret base hidden under the surface. As the ramp lowered, officials, scientists, and soldiers rushed forward. They had heard of the mission, but none had expected success against the Xiran fleet. Maya's reception. Maya stepped off the ramp slowly, the cool air of Earth brushing against her skin. She breathed deeply, savoring it. She had dreamed of this moment while chained in a Xiran cell, and now it was real. A woman in a white coat, clearly a doctor, approached her. "Maya, you're safe now. We'll take care of you." But Maya shook her head gently. "I don't want to just be taken care of. I want to help." The doctor blinked, surprised, but nodded respectfully. Behind Maya, the soldiers disembarked, greeted with salutes from Earth's officers. Captain Rylan stepped forward and gave his report. "The Xiran defense grid has been destroyed. Their flagship is gone. But this victory will not end the war. It will only delay it." The officials exchanged uneasy looks. They knew he was right. A world awakens. In the days that followed, news of the mission spread quietly through Earth's leadership. Few civilians knew the details, but whispers of hope began to rise. For the first time, humans had not only defended themselves but struck back against one of the most feared alien factions in the galaxy. Maya became a symbol. She had endured torture and refused to betray her people. Scientists interviewed her about the Xirans, their methods, their technology, their weaknesses. Her courage gave strength to others. She also spent time with the super soldiers. They trained in secret facilities, preparing for the next battle. Maya watched them with admiration, seeing how each of them carried both strength and humanity. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, Maya sat with Rylan on the balcony of the base. The sky glowed orange and red. "Do you ever get tired of fighting?" she asked. Rylan was quiet for a moment. "Yes, but I never get tired of protecting." "There's a difference." Maya nodded slowly. "The Xirans thought I was weak. They thought humans could be broken. But they were wrong. We're stronger than they understand." Rylan gave her a small smile. "That's the lesson of humanity. We don't give up. Not when everything is against us. That's what makes us dangerous to them." The warning, but the celebration of victory, did not last long. Weeks later, Earth's satellites picked up strange signals. Massive energy readings were moving through deep space, Xiran fleets regrouping, larger than before. The leaders gathered in the war room, maps of stars projected around them. The tension was thick. "They're coming," one general said. "They won't stop until Earth is destroyed." Rylan and his team stood at the front. Then we'll be ready, he said firmly. You've seen what humans can do. You've seen how we fight. We can't outnumber them, but we can outthink them. Maya stepped forward, surprising everyone. And I'll help too. I know the Zirans. I know their cruelty, their pride. I can give you insight that no one else can. Some officials hesitated, but Rylan nodded in approval. She's right. She survived them. That makes her stronger than most. The room fell silent. Then the leaders agreed. Preparations began at once. Hope and unity, Earth united like never before. Scientists, soldiers, engineers and civilians worked together building ships, weapons, and defenses. Every hand contributed. Every mind added strength. The super soldiers became symbols of hope, not just secret weapons. Children spoke of them in whispers, imagining themselves as heroes. Families donated supplies and resources to support the cause. Maya traveled with the soldiers, speaking to groups of young recruits. She told them her story, not of pain but of endurance. The Zirans thought they could break me, she said to one crowd. But they didn't understand what it means to be human. We don't bow, we rise. Her words spread across the world, igniting courage. The final scene one night. As the team gathered in the hangar, Rylan looked at his squad. Zara checked her weapons, Leo tested the cannons, Hana sealed her armor, and Tariq scanned the data feeds. They were ready. Maya stood with them, no longer just a victim but part of their fight. Tomorrow, Rylan said, the Zirans will come again. Maybe with more ships, maybe with more power. But it doesn't matter, because we are human, and humans don't give up. The soldiers placed their hands together one by one, a silent oath. Maya placed hers on top, her voice steady. Then we faced them together. Above them the stars shone bright, countless and endless. Somewhere out there the Zirans prepared for revenge. But Earth was no longer afraid. The message was clear. Humanity would fight. Humanity would endure. Humanity would win. Because no matter how dark the night, humans carried the light of resilience within them, and that light could never be extinguished.